And then we're going to do them to the kids. And shake her head, please.
Let's go. See you. Hello, Shaker Heights varsity hockey fans. Welcome back into the J.M. Bartley Arena for Shaker's final game in their host tournament, the Thornton Park Tournament. Now, today they're going to be playing the Menor Cardinals, a team we all know, but we sure do not really love. Shaker Heights is ranked at number 31 in the OHSAA state rankings. Menor is number 19. And though these teams have not competed this year, last year, Shaker did go 3-0 against Menor, beating them twice 2-1 and once 4-1 last season. Now, in this third place game last season, these two teams competed. I believe that was for the second time. They played once in November, once in December, once in February. This game, the third place game of the Thornton Park Tournament, was their second meeting last year, and Shaker won it 2-1. One goal coming from the current player, Ryan Lenahan, and Connor Mayhew, also a current player, assisted Sammy Gerber in his goal. Sammy Gerber has since graduated on. And so, for their last meeting, however, Shaker did win it 4-1 in the quarterfinals of the OHSAA District Tournament. Shaker went on after that victory to beat Gilmore 4-0 and then ultimately lose to University School for the finals of the district. The victory came from a great goaltending performance by Nico Daenerys, who has also since graduated. We believe Michael Better will be back in the net, even though he has not had a lot of time in between games, because he's just the guy that they continue to have their confidence in, and number 32 is looking to get that confidence back after that tough loss yesterday. Shaker coming off of a 5-2 loss. We send you down to the ice for stadium announcements and opening puck drop.
You starting the intros?
Well, we don't get any stadium announcements. We just go right to the opening puck drop. The referee, no national anthem, no stadium announcements to mention the opening lineup. So we get going right away, and they're going to start with the first line, a new look at a first line, as Joey Moores and Connor Mayhew on the wings, and they're going to have Lenahan to take the opening draw, starting in at center. On defense, we're going to have Teddy McGinnis and Dylan Ursepke. Joey Moore trying to start the attack early on. Shaker Heights, as mentioned, 12 spots lower in the rankings, and men are already off to a quick rush, looking for the shot on Michael Better. Here's a pass into the slot, but it's knocked away by, I believe, Ryan Lenahan and Dylan Ursepke working into the front of the net. This one tips off of the leg of a Cardinal in front of the net, but Shaker regains possession. Connor Mayhew taking it through the open ice between the blue lines, dumping it down and hopping off. Lenahan keeps it in the attacking zone. Joey Moore still out there acting as forwards. Now Lenahan going to join as he hops off as well. This second line going to consist of Schneider, Juan, and at the moment it looks like it's going to be Colin Arth. So Axel Schneider and Joey Moore just switching places. Schneider passes this one up. He finds Benincasa, the defenseman, on the attack. He takes the shot, and the goaltender making the save for the Menor Cardinals. Now the Cardinals in their gray and red look. Shaker in their typical home look that we have seen all weekend, with the white jerseys and the red pants. Pretty similar looks if you just want to swap out gray for white. Of course, Menor, as mentioned, in that gray, Shaker in the white. This one's going to be offsides. This time as number 14, the captain, Dominic Trem, was just barely offside. So now face-off will be right outside that Shaker Heights blue line. This is their first line as A.J. Trobenner is on the near side wing. These are their two star players in the form of Trem and Trobenner. Trem trying to move it into the slot, taking the shot, and somehow just able to make the save. It was stuck right between the legs, and that was sure close, but he was able to make the save. 13:34 left to go in the first period. We're still scoreless, though just barely. Shaker lucky to keep that one out of the net. Good work by Michael Better. And as mentioned in this last performance against Menor, there a good snag out of the air by Michael Better. But Michael Better last season beaten out of his starting position by Nico Daenerys. And Nico Daenerys against Menor last season made some incredible saves. And we're looking to see that exact kind of performance, that success from Better today. Again, these two teams aren't exactly league rivals, but they sure play like them, considering it's always a competitive game. And it always tends to be a little physical and aggravating between both sides. Right now, the forward three, Rich, Salmon, and Kiltz. Kiltz sends this into the slot, but nobody home except for a couple of Cardinals protecting the blue crease, which their goaltender currently resides. Benencasa wraps this one around, though it'll hit a Cardinal and a Cardinal only. Rich gets it right back as he swoops in to the far side corner, now held up along the boards. Rich trying to get it back up to the point for Braden White. It's blocked. This time by A.J. Trobenner, but it's dumped down from the neutral zone as he shrugs his shoulders. Shaker dumps it down, and it's going to be an icing on the Red Raiders. Face-off will be right back into their own zone. Face-off one back by Menor. The shot blocked. Good work by Connor Mayhew to pressure a shot that goes right into his stick. Lenahan and Mayhew and now McGinnis battle for the puck possession on that far side. Here's a shot from the blue line. Joey Moore using the stick to block the shot once again. An incidental contact sends it up and flying into the Red Raider bench. So face-off will be back in that own zone. Shaker Heights having a lot of 5-2 finals. They beat Strongsville 5-2, but then lost to Rocky River last night. That game set for 5:45. Winner actually playing at 5:15 tonight for the championship game. That is now going to be between Walsh Jesuit, who just beat Menor last night. The two losers of the two games taking place last night play in this one for the third place contest. Here's wrapped around the boards for the Cardinals to try and pick up and keep the attack moving, but nothing doing as Lenahan creates a pickpocket but can't clear it out from the zone. Probably the biggest issue for Shaker Heights has been clearing their zone. They either go for the extra pass or they're just not able to get it out from the blue line. That time, good work by Joey Moore as he sends it off the boards up into the air. But the Cardinals take it back and try on another attack. Mayhew up. It'll find Axel Schneider. Schneider along the near side boards, trying to find Lenahan on the pass. But that defenseman's sticking to him like glue. Here's a one-time shot from Cam Mayhew that's blocked into the traffic. Mayhew's just going to flip this one up and along the boards behind the net of the goaltender of the Menor Cardinals. We're still trying to get a name on that goaltender, trying to see a numeral, but unlike Michael Better, he's not really skating around between the whistles. Good work by Axel Schneider, creating the stick lift and sending it down the ice. Here's Arth. Now Juan with an open shooting lane, but now he sends it over across the slot. It was looking at Schneider. This will create a breakaway chance. Braden White on the back check, trying to create the opportunity. Here's a wraparound. Not sure why he didn't go for any shot, and the shot is blocked up from the point. Here's Sebi Juan on the rush the other way. He's working with Arth. Arth pickpocketed once again behind the net. He'll pass it into the slot. Nobody home. The Cardinals take it back. Off the backhand pass moves up this time to number 11, Nick Biodolio. And this is offsides on Shaker. Forward three going to be Rich Kilt Salmon. The goaltender, actually, now we're getting the confirmation, number 1, Ryan Wilkinson. Same guy as last year. Nobody beat him out. Ryan Wilkinson, number 1, the goaltender, going up against Michael Better on the other side of the ice. 10:05 left to go in this first period. On defense right now, Benincasa and Cole Richard working together. Benincasa fighting for the puck possession. Now Richard is going to fly in, try to help out as well, as it's 2 Raiders, 2 Cardinals, but the Red Raiders going to win the battle, even though they're evenly matched in numbers. Aiden Salmon with a shot that goes wide to the right side. Cole Richard keeping it inside the attacking zone. No harsh shots on goal yet for the Red Raiders. They've only got 1 so far, but at the same time, so does the Menor Cardinals. There's going to be a rough hit on Menor, and so they rule it a roughing. And Shaker Heights going to go on the power play. Who do they send to the box? A tough guy to miss. It's going to be A.J. Trobenner, a big man, making his way to the box, and he's going to talk to the referee about it as well as he heads to the box. Clearly frustrated with the call, but nothing he can do to change the mind of the man in stripes. 9:30 left to go. Immediately, Menor's going to clear it down the ice to begin Shaker's power play. Shaker going 2 for 4 in the power play yesterday. The main issue being on the penalty kill, where they allowed Rocky River to as well. They went 2 for 5. Here's Cole Richard taking it up the ice. Thrown off the play, but he'll get it back in the near side corner boards, working with Lenahan. Richard's still with it as it banks off of the referee. Men are trying to clear it. Good work by Connor Mayhew using the stick to get it back, but now Menor will clear it off the boards. Already 40 seconds off the power play. Not much to speak of if you're the Red Raiders on the man advantage. Here's Mackey trying his luck at a shot. This one tipped up and out of the air. Connor Mayhew just trying to get it back in Red Raider possession. Shaker really struggling to get this set up. Here's Connor Mayhew in the open ice of his defensive zone. He'll keep moving it forward. Will he try a shot? Yes, he will. Low percentage. And now in the open ice, who's going to get there first? It's going to be Cam Mayhew using the backhand, wrapping it around for Andy Benincasa or Sebi Juan to get there first. But Menor will get it and dump it down. 40 seconds left to go on A.J. Trobenner's penalty. Mayhew in the Red Raiders side of the ice battling against Mackey. He'll get it off to Lowell Rich. Rich the pass almost out of reach of Arth, but he will get there. Arth beaten out for the puck. Lowell Rich in the slot creates the chance, taking the shot. He was looking 5-hole, and a good shot it was, but Menor clears it down. Michael Better out of his net. Finds all the way down the ice Ryan Kiltz. Try to get a little too fancy around the Cardinal man. And now here's a good opportunity on the other rush. And here in the neutral zone, it was a delayed offsides for Menor. Now Lowell Rich takes a shot all the way from the neutral zone and tipped off of Ryan Wilkinson. But he will cover up on the secondary chance. 7:23 left to go in the first period. 0-0 the current score. Shaker with the win here. It would be a big upset. They're really looking for that kind of success today because they just need to find a victory against a team in which they're not really supposed to beat. And those wins can always help you out. This should be an icing on Menor, and indeed it is, as we get the hand raise and the whistle. Shaker Heights currently leading the shots on goal 3-2. Not a lot of offense to speak of on either side. They've been having good attacking zone ice time, each team. But the quality of shots haven't really been able to make their way on goal. We'll see if that can change here. The line out is Schneider, Juan, and Arth. Here's a Menor rush. Taking the shot. Good block that time by the captain, Andy Benincasa. The shot that time from number 17, Hayden Valance. Here's another shot, and it's just going to sneak through. A.J. Trobenner taking the shot to the near side post. Low percentage chance. Didn't see it coming. And somehow it just snuck its way between the right arm of Michael Better in that right post. Or I suppose our left post. So there we go. Menner's going to strike first. 6:51 left to go in this first period of play. They're now tied for shots on goal, so Shaker can't give up just yet, as it has been an even performance so far. Menner with it in their own zone, going to try and really take the life out of this Red Raider team if they can. This is dumped down off the backboards. Michael Benner going to cover it up in his crease. 6:42 left to go in the first period. Dominic Trem and Valens, the two guys on the assists for Tro Benner's goal. And again, Trem and Tro Benner, lethal duo. 6.5 left to go in the first period. Joey Moore dumps this one away from his blue line. Somehow it ends up on the stick of Connor Mayhew as he's bumped off the play and poked away from at the same time. 6:10 left to go in the first period. And Menner back on the rush as this defenseman skates it away from the open ice to the defending zone. Here's a flip into the slot, but it'll actually end up on net. Michael Benner can't cover it up, so Connor Mayhew takes it away. And to the neutral zone, there's another dump in from Menner to try and get a couple of changes. And Shaker's been really struggling to get anything set up through the neutral zone. We'll see if they can here as Lenahan skates it through. He's looking for a shot. Nothing yet. He'll center it over, trying for Joey Moore. But instead, the Cardinals once again swarm the area. They pick it up, and now it's a 3-on-3 rush. Here's the shot. Save made, and the secondary chance knocked away by Cam Mayhew, wrapped around the boards. It's going to find Gibson, the defenseman of the Cardinals, trying to poke it away. Once more is Cam Mayhew. This shot tipped. Braden White, the first man there, as he wraps it around, finding Joey Moore, who dumps it all the way down. Smart move. It's going to tip off of a Cardinal stick, and down the ice it's going to be an icing waved off. And so to the neutral zone, Benincasa dumps it. Icing once again waved off. He was just in front of the red line of center ice. Ryan Kiltz with a good creation of a chance. He's tripped up, no call, just some incidental contact. Cole Richard missing the chance to pick it up in his defensive zone. So now we'll see what Shaker can get after the secondary clearing attempt. Here's Aiden Salmon on the backhand, trying his luck at a shot. Low percentage, as there was a defenseman right in front of him there to block any chance he could get. And along the near side boards, 4:20 left to go in the first period. Here's Ryan Kiltz looking to go to the center. Aiden Salmon beaten out by a Menner Cardinal. No penalty this time as a man was taken down. Could have been argued. You could hear a couple of the Menner fans say, oh, come on. Here's Richard. Open shooting lane. It'll hit off of the glove, and it looks like it fell its way in to his possession. Ryan Wilkinson keeping it a 1-0 affair to the advantage of the Menner Cardinals, looking for the third place spot in this Thornton Park tournament. Four minutes to go in the first period. Arth, Schneider, and Juan back out there representing the second line of offense. Here's the shot. And once again, a tip save into the glove of Wilkinson. Shaker getting a lot of good shots off right now, and that's going to help him win, of course. And these shots are quality as well. Ryan Wilkinson just making some good saves. Earlier in the season, we saw a lot of shots from Shaker going right into the crest of the jersey. But right now, these shots looking good. Menner dumps this one down. This is going to be an icing on the Cardinals as we get the hand raised and the whistle. 3:37 left to go in the first. One nothing. Men are currently leading here at the Thornton Park Ice Arena. Around the boards, it's still going to be that second line of offense with Schneider, Arth, and Juan. Good work by Ersepke to get it back into Red Raider possession, but eventually a second chance is going to create a breakaway for the Cardinals. Great back check, that time by the sophomore Teddy McGinnis. to take away that breakaway scoring chance. And now Orsepke looking to the center for Axel Schneider. It's broken up. Bumped off the play by Arth, and eventually Orsepke joins the play as well. And now it looks like we might have a penalty. We'll see who on. They rule a penalty on Orsepke. Tough call. Clearly, coach is frustrated. It's a holding, and Orsepke wants an explanation. Benincasa talking to him as well, the captain arguing his case. And all he can really do is nod as he skates away. 2 minutes up to the clock for Orsepke's time in the sin bins. 3 minutes to go in the first period. We'll see what Menor can get done, but immediately it's poked away and creating a good chance for Lenahan on a one-on-one. Beautiful move around as he takes the shot as he's stumbling down to the ice. No call, as I believe it was just on his own doing as he fell down, but great work by Mayhew and Lenahan. The two forwards defending at the moment. On defense, it's Richard and Benincasa. Lenahan not letting him get past the red line of center ice as it's poked back into the Cardinal zone. Right now, they hang on to it. Here's a shot from the red line of center ice. Michael Better going to cover up with the left glove. 82 seconds left on Orsepke's penalty. Clearly frustrated in the penalty box, and again, we understand why. It was a scrum between two players, and he only calls one of them down to the ice. Here's a shot from the blue line, and it'll go wide off of, I believe, a tip. Trobenner just keeping it in on a clearing attempt by Joey Moore. Here's Menor back with it. Arth trying to push the puck handler out. Here's a shot and a great one-time chance, but somehow the shot goes wide. A minute left to go on penalty time. Here's another shot. It's going to go wide. Pass up to the point once more. Trobenner. Here's another shot. It's tipped up and under the crossbar. And once again, the penalty kill of Shaker Heights really struggling as Orsepke frustratedly closes the sin bin and skates his way back to the bench. 2-0, Menor leading. Face off, one to the Cardinals. Richard creating the chance to wrap it around the boards. Shaker with a goal in the final 100 seconds would be really good to have at this point in time, trying to carry a little bit of momentum into the intermission. All right, now the captain, Andy Benincasa, hangs on, wraps it around the boards, finds Richard. Richard, pickpocketed in his own zone, pokes it away. There's a pass into the slot that won't find any Cardinal. And off the boards, a pass from Juan finds Axel Schneider, who just sends it up and into the Menor bench. Face-off will be along the Shaker blue line. 72 seconds left to go in the first period. The Cardinals leading here in the third place game 2-0. Though if we know anything out of this rivalry, it's that Shaker Heights can even this one up in the blink of an eye, and Mayhew hits the crossbar on the shot. Bounced right to his stick in the slot. Great opportunity that time for the Red Raiders to tack on their first. And now another 2-on-2 rush brewing as Mayhew whiffs on the pass up to Lenahan. 45 seconds left to go in the first period. This one passed up to a Menor Cardinal. This one's going to be a delayed offsides. Shaker has it in their own zone as the Cardinals touch up this pass, missing the mark on Joey Moore. Great opportunity that time for Connor Mayhew to try and cut this deficit down before the period ends. And now Mayhew finds Joey Moore, dropping it off to Lenahan. Lenahan takes the shot as it's tipped up and into the air. Menor snags it out. This time by Friel, number 45. Pass up to Dominic Trem. Both first lines out there to end the first period. 12 seconds left to go. Mayhew on the attack in the dying moments. Looking for the shot. He'll take it. And a good kick save as the puck now held up along the far side corner boards. Lenahan trying to fish it out, but the clock will hit 0 for the end of this first period. Shaker Heights losing this one by a score of 2-0. A rough penalty call and a great shot lead to the 2-0 deficit. Shaker Heights slow to make their way back over to the locker room, as they have been beaten out a lot in these first couple of periods. The team was talking earlier today that their first shifts need to be big and that they need to set the tone early in the game. Unfortunately, not today, say the Menor Cardinals, as they hold the lead heading into this first intermission. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum on the call. We will be back for the start of the second period. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, Shaker Heights varsity hockey fans. Welcome back into the J.M. Bartley Arena for period number 2 of the Thornton Park Tournament third place game. Shaker Heights taking on the Menor Cardinals and currently losing the game 2-0 through the first 15 minutes. And right now, they're losing every single stat there is. Right now, they're losing face-offs, and that is the biggest one that they are losing. They're losing it 13-4. They're beaten out by 9 in that category. In shots attempted, they're losing it by 5, 16-11. In shots on goal, it's a lot more close, 11-10 to the advantage of the Menor Cardinals. And on the power play, Shaker's still struggling on the penalty kill. They've let Menor go on the power play once, and they did score to make it a 2-0 game. The penalty coming from Dylan Orsepke. Shaker Heights had an opportunity on an AJ Trobenner penalty from Menor, but Shaker could not capitalize. They could barely get set up. And until they did, the clock, it seemed, had already basically expired. But Shakers had some good opportunities. Connor Mayhew in the dying minutes of the period hit the crossbar. So Shaker has had their opportunities. They just need, in this period, to capitalize and send one into the back of the net to try and shorten this deficit, hopefully tie it up with a good second period. But second periods have really been their struggle throughout the beginning of the season. We'll see if that continues. But yesterday, as well, in that 5-2 loss to Rocky River, they lost that second period 2-0. They're not looking for that same kind of unfortunate side of success today. We're going to send you down to the ice for the opening draw of the second period. My name is Vaughn Ullum. Thank you very much for tuning in. Getting set for the middle frame of 15 minutes. Shaker Heights once again, this time attacking from the right side of your screen to the left there in their red accents but white jerseys. Menor on the left side of your screen in the gray jerseys, but the same kind of look of red helmets and red pants, so hopefully you can tell the difference out on the ice. Joey Moore flips this one off the backhand and out of the Red Raiders zone. This is the first line that head coach Matt Bartley has decided to go with today. Joey Moore trying to get the turnover in the offensive zone. Here's Connor Mayhew on the shot. And a great save by Ryan Wilkinson once again. But yeah, Shaker Heights has given a lot of looks on their offensive three. They've tried this line before in the preseason, but I believe they only started with this line in that first game and not much more afterward. Here's Ryan Lenahan skating this one back to Teddy McGinnis. Bendy Benincasa going to pick it up off the far side boards. Mayhew looking for the turnover in the slot. Now Ryan Lenahan with the chance, tipping it off, and it's still out, but now a secondary chance, and they bury it in. My goodness. Chance after chance, and eventually Shaker gets the opportunity, and it's Connor Mayhew to tap it in. My goodness, shots galore. Lenahan tried to bank it in off the back of Ryan Wilkinson, and it just scraped along the red line of the net. A good thought by Ryan Lenahan on the original chance, and then Connor Mayhew with the secondary tip in. And less than a minute into this second period, Shaker shortens this deficit to 1. It's 2-1. Menor leading, and now they're going to look to get back on the attack, as now they're in a threat to put this back to a tied game. Shaker Heights, however, not letting them get any shots on goal just yet. This one going back to Cam Mayhew. He'll flip this one right up and into the ceiling as he smiles. That was not his intention to just flip it up and out of play. 13:48 to go in the second period. Good stuff from Connor Mayhew to get the final tip in. Here's a shot blocked by Cam Mayhew on the Menor attacking side of the ice. Michael Better stands in his crease. Cole Richard trying to handle the puck with the Menor Cardinals swarming him along the near side corner. He gets it away. Axel Schneider, Sebi Juan, Colin Arth representing the second line of forwards on defense with Mayhew and Richard, a different kind of pairing that we haven't seen too much just yet. Here's a shot from the point. It's going to be tipped off of a skate and wide. Around the boards we go. Menor looking for some good shots while Shaker's just fighting to clear it out. And eventually Cole Richard will get the job done. He's held up along the blue line, but the puck going to leave his stick and clear the zone. Here's Arth trying to split the defenseman, and that he's going to do with success. Turnover created. Men are trying to get it back on the backhand. Sending it into the slot was Ryan Kiltz. Here's a shot from Ersepke. The shot goes wide. He was looking for a tip. Elliott Hanna getting his first couple of minutes out there on defense. Lowell Rich trying to get the pass to him into the slot. Ersepke sent it over there, but a bit too late. And there, a good turnover from Dylan Ersepke along his blue line. Now to Rich. Rich trying to center it over to Kiltz, just out of his reach. I believe it was actually trying to find Aiden Salmon, but he had already overskated it. Or I suppose maybe underskated it. Aiden Salmon looking for the shooting chance. He passes it across the slot once again. No Red Raiders there to pick it up. Elliott Hanna back with it. It's going to be a penalty, it seems, on Shaker Heights. Off of a hit. Music was already playing from the scorer's table, and Shaker still unable to touch up, so here comes Menor on the attack. And here's a secondary shooting chance as Shaker touches up in the blue paint of Michael Better's crease. And eventually we'll see who the roughing call is on. It's going to be Ryan Kiltz heading to the box after the aggressive hit in the defensive zone, or excuse me, in the attacking zone. And he knows it too, so he's just going to take his 2 minutes. Menor 1 for 1 on the power play so far. Shaker trying to slow that down and move it to 1 for 2, excuse me. The Menor head coach talking to the referees, not sure what he's mad about. But I guess we'll see. As now he's going to go ahead and talk to head coach Matt Bartley on the Shaker side. Menor talking things over along that Red Raider logo set up along the blue line of the Shaker defensive zone. Now we're going to get back to it as Shaker is on the short side of a man advantage for Menor. And this one cleared down. Joey Moore and Colin Arth, the starting forwards on the 5-on-4. On defense, it's going to be Cole Richard and the captain, Andy Benincasa. 11:30 left to go in this second period. The score 2-1 to the advantage of the Cardinals. Here's Mackey taking it up the near side boards. Thrown off the play by Benincasa, and can he wrap it around just enough to clear the zone? Indeed he can. Around the boards, the momentum doesn't slow down enough, so it clears out from the blue line all the way down to the Cardinal zone, where the assistant captain picks it up, or excuse me, the alternate captain, creating the scoring chance. Michael Better uses the stick and gets it away. Andre, the alternate captain, number 6, creating the scoring chance. 11 minutes to go in the second period. 70 seconds left to go on Kiltz's roughing minor penalty. This pass broken up by Joey Moore. Good stuff between the blue lines. And Arth is going to hop off. Mayhew comes on in. So we can assume Lenahan will make his way out shortly whenever Joey Moore gets the chance on the change. This one flipped up right off the top of the boards. Almost flew its way into the Menor's bench, excuse me. Benincasa, the first guy to pick this up in the Shaker zone. 40 seconds left to go on Red Raider penalty time and Menor power play time. This one cleared down by Moore as he hops off, and Lenahan comes in replacement. 30 seconds left to go on the penalty. Mackey was looking up the ice to his other forward, though Richard is the first guy to pick it up on the opposite side corner boards. This pass faulty, and Benincasa dumps it off the boards, where Mayhew's going to pick it up, and a shorthanded chance to Lenahan, where Mayhew gets it back, bumped off the play, and in the slot he's sandwiched between a couple of Cardinal players, and they get it back on a 3-on-2 rush. Though the penalty expires. Here's a pass into the slot. Kiltz flying from the bench to disrupt the pass as we're back to full strength with 9.5 to go in the second period. This one dumped into the Red Raiders zone where McGinnis picks it up, wraps it around the boards on the clear. Who's there first? Who else but Lowell Rich? And they call it offsides. Calling it very tight is the referee. Got a lot of groans from the home supporters. Rich to drop down and taking the face-off this time. He'll get it back to McGinnis. McGinnis and White working together as the defensive pair. Kilts, Rich, Salmon on the forward three. Rich going to try and pass this one up to Aiden Salmon, and a good pass it was. The outstretched stick of Aiden Salmon. It will land around the boards. It'll eventually make its way to the point for Braden White. Harsh shot. Not sure who that hit off of, but there was someone in the shooting lane. And there a flip up and on net to the goaltender, Ryan Wilkinson. It'll clear the zone here from the near side point boards. 8:50 to go in the second period. Menor with a lead, 2-1 is the score. Lowell Rich fighting for possession in the Red Raiders zone. Menor going on the attack once more, though it's held up as Braden White takes a man down to the ice, though Menor still on the rush forward. Braden White trying to clear it away. Nothing doing just yet, as it looks like that second line of forwards will make their way back out. Braden White trying to clear it off the glass. It'll fall down to the boards. Here's the shot. Good save by Michael Better as he drops down. 8:18 to go in the second period. Sebi Juan trying to get there first in the attacking zone. He will. He's held up for a minute, but he'll eventually create separation. Pass it to the slot, but the Cardinal defenseman right there to disrupt it. 8 minutes to go in the second. Sebi Juan pass into the slot for Colin Arth. Arth sends it back around. Schneider. Good passes right now from this second line of offense. Arth creating the chance, taking the shot. It'll go wide. Might have been tipped. Might have been saved, actually, by Ryan Wilkinson. He might have gotten a piece of it. Behind the net, it's held up with Colin Arth getting it back to the point. The shot tipped and somehow just kept out of the net. Great work that time by the second line of forwards. Now on the skate back to the Red Raiders side of the ice. Shaker clears this one down, or maybe it was a pass by Menor because the icing was waved off. 7:15 to go in the second period. Wrapped around the boards. The first line of forwards is going to come back out as Mayhew with a good chance to Lenahan. And the shot in. Beautiful chemistry once more showing from Connor Mayhew and Ryan Lenahan. That's the beautiful connection we love. And well, let me just tell you, that was my puck in the net pick. And why did I pick Ryan Lenahan? Well, it was because he scored in this just go past the halfway point of the game. We're tied at 2-2. A good old hockey game. Fighting for third are these two teams. Here's Joey Moore skating it up in this season. But now it's working just fine. Menor now going to go on the rush, trying to get that lead right back. Number 14 against number 14. Benincasa going to win the battle as the forced pass is going to go awry. Shaker will get it and clear it away. Kilts pressuring. They get the possession right back. This is going to be an icing on Menor just barely as they were behind the red line of center ice. 6:13 to go in the second period. A Shaker Heights victory today would be huge, considering they need to get a good result against a good team, which they have not really had yet. All their victories have been against opponents that they have been supposed to beat, like Strongsville, like Meadville, who they've beaten now twice, and like Perrysburg. Those have been their 4 wins. Kilts fishes this one out from the near side boards, rips the shot. It's going to go wide to the left. He's going to try and pick it up along those boards once again. Rich fighting for the possession, but it'll create a 2-on-2 rush that turns into a 1-on-1. Braden White on a good back check. There, the shot saved by Michael Better as he reaches out the glove and holds it for the whistle. 5:42 left to go in the second period. 2-2 now the score we entered in, and a 2-0 Menor advantage. Face off, one back to White. He'll wrap it around for Juan. Juan, that puck in the net pick by the sister Charlotte Juan, the student manager of this Red Raider hockey squad. Maya Mayan deciding to go with her friend Ryan Kiltz, thinking that he's going to once again light the lamp as he did earlier this season. She thinks it's past due for him to find the back of the net once more. 5:15 left to go in the second period. Men are back on the rush, but it's a 1-on-3. And Cam Mayhew decides to take the scoring chance away quickly with good stick work. Just poking it away, and Sebi Juan's there to fish it out and dump it off the boards to get his forwards a couple of changes. Joey Moore coming back out. We can assume that first line of forwards going to come right back out. They have the last goal. I believe, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, they have both goals because one came from Mayhew, one came from Lenahan. This pass up to Arth. Arth takes the rip at it, and a glove save by Wilkinson. So now we're going to get the full forward line one back out. We'll see if they can try and get this lead as their own for the first time on the second period. Haven't had a whole lot of afternoon games early this season. Shaker with their first one, and right now they're playing a good game against a team that they're expected to lose to, and still there's time for them to lose. But there's also plenty of time for them to win as well. Joey Moore creating the chance to Connor Mayhew. Men are just trying to clear it away, and off the glass they will on a 2-on-1. But Dylan Orsepke playing the man, not letting him get any sort of passing away or really even look over to the slot where his man was. Here's Menor on the shot, and it's tipped. Still loose in the blue paint, and great save by Michael Better using the left pad. Phenomenal save, and that's what we need always against Menor. That's what we saw from Nico Daenerys, the graduate, in the last game against Menor. Here's a shot by Lenahan. Rebound was given up, and it's still loose, where Menor will pick it up, flip it off the glass, and back to the Red Raiders zone. Icing is waved off. McGinnis passes this one up. Lenahan finds Moore. He'll kick it up, but it'll be just out of reach of his stick. It's still Mayhew, Moore, and Lenahan. Benincasa and Richard, they're so far this season, two best defensemen. Lenahan to the neutral zone, skating this one past a couple of Cardinals. Here's Moore taking a rip at it, where Ryan Wilkinson covers up for the face-off in his own zone. Shaker tied 2-2, and right now they're winning the shots on goal this period 12-4. It has been a second period to remember for these Red Raiders, and it's a second period that they need to keep in mind moving forward into the next couple of games. They came in down 2-0, and right now they're tied 2-2. Still 3:20 left to go in the second. Rich trying to pass it to the slot where Aiden Salmon is set up, looking for a one-time chance. Along the blue line, Cole Richard keeping it in Red Raider possession. It's a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Salmon just pokes this one forward. Can Shaker keep it? No. Menor clears. Good defense right now from Shaker, not letting Menor get set up too much today in their zone. Benincasa wraps this one around. Tough hit that time. Forced on Benincasa. Here it's loose in the blue paint, and Shaker somehow lives to see another day at a 2-2 score. Salmon moving it forward, taking the shot, and a good glove save once more by Wilkinson. Just over 2.5 left to go in the second period. It's 2-2. Great game here at the J.M. Bartley Arena between two familiar teams in Shaker Heights and Menor. Two of the best public schools that play the sport. Delayed offsides. Menor needs to touch up between the blue lines, and eventually they're going to. Here's the shot. It goes wide to the left. Michael Better not needing a save. And here comes Braden White. Maybe he'll create a scoring chance as the defenseman. He'll pass it into the slot. Rebound was given up, but Wilkinson pokes it away. Cam Mayhew out there with White, creating the defensive pairing. And are struggling to get it out of their zone. Here's the shot that's blocked by Mayhew. Braden White dropping back, covering the blue paint in which Michael Better currently sits. Shaker just trying to clear the zone. And eventually Mayhew's going to get the job done, getting it away. But men are still on the attack as they take it right back in. Blocker save. Mayhew takes it. Good work. He'll bank it off the glass. Just cannot clear it just yet. Mena wraps it around where Braden White picks it up, wraps it off the glass and out of play. But Shaker's going to be all right with that as they get their much-needed changes. They're sticking with their top 5 guys once again. Joey Moore, Connor Mayhew, Ryan Lenahan, and on defense, Benincasa and Cole Richard. 80 seconds to go in the second period. Shaker will gladly take a tied game into the third period, considering where they were entering into the second. Benincasa wraps this one around off the face-off win. Cole Richard tries to poke it out from his blue line, but this will actually be kept with the Cardinals. Here's Joey Moore flipping it up between the blue lines. The alternate captain of Andre will move it up. But Cole Richard takes it back, dumps it down for an icing on the Red Raiders. So face off back over on Michael Better's side of the ice. Just under a minute left to go in this second period. Whoever scores the next goal can be very pleased with themselves, but Shaker could really use a third goal before heading in to the third period, trying to have that cushioned lead because they're still yet to get a lead. It's 2-2. Menner clears this one down. It's a 2-on-1 had they hurried, but Michael Better just able to cover this one up as it's poked his way into the Red Raider side of the ice. So once again, another face-off on Shaker's side. Not sure what's this going to be, as it's Moore, Arth, and Lenahan. So they took off Connor Mayhew. They leave Lenahan and Moore, and Arth comes out there. Not sure if it was just a faulty change or what. Moore, the captain, holding it in his own zone, flips this one up. It'll hit off of the hand of a Cardinal, delayed offsides. Benincasa with a good stick lift, tries to get it back to Shaker, and now they call a penalty on the Red Raiders this time. And Shaker touches up in their own zone. It's going to be ruled a holding on the Red Raiders. Let's see who they got. They got Joey Moore, the captain, heading to the box for 2. Not a whole lot of complaints this time because that was a very fair penalty. .12 seconds left to go in the second. Here's the shot blocked by Lenahan. Can he get a breakaway before the period expires? He holds up for a moment. He's got Mayhew set up in the slot. The pass blocked, but that'll expire the rest of this second period. Moore didn't even take a seat in his box as he knew he was going to be skating with his team back to the locker room after taking the holding penalty. So when we come back for the third and final period, there's going to be 1:47 left to go on penalty kill if you're Shaker Heights, but if Menor, you're going to take that as an opportunity to try and take your lead back. But here, in this second period, Shaker won it 2-0. The issue is that Menor won that first period 2-0 themselves. So a lot of 2-0 periods. We'll see if one team can have a 2-0 period themselves in that third period, or if it will be a much more even third period, because these two teams now look like they have each settled into this game, and they know that this third period is going to mean a lot. Not sure if we're going to go into overtime. A couple of years back, these two teams were tied heading into the third period, and it remained tied into their overtime spot, but because they needed the ice for the first place game, they weren't able to have any sort of overtime or shootout, nothing. Hopefully that's not going to be the case today. Even if it is tied, hopefully they can get that sort of overtime look. We want a winner today, and if you're Shaker, you could really use that kind of momentum, because you have not beaten a team that you haven't been supposed to. They need a sort of upset victory today. We'll see if they can get one going as we head in to the second intermission. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Von Ullum. 2-2 your score between Shaker Heights and Menor for the third place game of the Thornton Park Tournament. Hello, Shaker Heights Varsity hockey fans. Welcome back into the J.M. Bartley Arena for the third and final period of regulation for Shaker's host tournament, the Thornton Park Tournament. Shaker Heights currently in a deadlock with the Menor Cardinals. They lost the first period 2-0, but they won the second period 2-0, and that second period was probably their best second period of the entire season so far. It's been a real struggle for them in that middle frame, but those last 15 minutes of this ice hockey game were ones to remember. Goals coming from Connor Mayhew and Ryan Lenahan. Their shots attempted, they won it 20-12, and now they're leading them for the game as well, 31-28. And shots on goal, they doubled them up in that second period, 14-7. And in faceoffs, they actually came back and won that. They were down 4-0 at the beginning of the period, but then they came back and won it 9-8 in total for the period. The big thing is that Joey Moore is in the box for another minute 47 to start off this third and final period of regulation, and he has been really crucial on those penalty kills, so that's a big guy to lose to the box, but we'll see how they will manage without the captain, Menor, already 1 for 2 on the power play. Shaker looking to keep it at only 1 for now 3. Shaker 0 for 1 on the power play themselves. We'll see if they get another chance to strike on a man advantage, but right now we're in a deadlock. It's 2-2. Both teams have now settled in with their goals. We'll see if either team can take the advantage here in the final frame of 15, and if not, I believe we're going to have some overtime. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We send you down to the ice for the opening draw of the third period of regulation. The starting 4 out there going to be Lenahan, Mayhew, and Benincasa and Richard. The last 2, the defensemen. The first 2, the forwards. If you add on Joey Moore, you're typically just going to get that as their top 5 to typically start out a game, but because Joey Moore's in the box for the next minute 40 now, they're just going to stick with their best guys out there to start the period that they can have with their 4 players allowed. Here's Lenahan into the slot. Again, Lenahan and Mayhew creating some good chances. Here's Trem dropping it off to that time Andre, number 6, but cleared down by Lenahan as there was a loose puck behind Andre. He couldn't pick it up cleanly. 14:30 left to go in the third. A minute 10 left to go on Joey Moore's penalty. And somehow that just snuck through. What an odd goal. Scored once again by A.J. Trobenner. Might have gone through the 5-hole. But the shooting lane wide open, and A.J. Trobenner able to take this lead back for the Cardinals. And now the Cardinals 2 for 3 on the power play. Still an issue for the Red Raiders is that penalty kill. The second line of offense will be out. The wingers, Juan and Schneider. Arth out there as center. Here's a shot from between the blue lines, and Michael Better just going to snag this one out of the air. Hold on for the whistle. Trebetter unassisted in his goal. It was all his doing to take this lead to a 3-2 score. Here's Arth creating the neutral zone turnover, looking for the shot, but a good block by the Menor Cardinal defenseman. Here's Trem poking this one forward. Not a lot of size on that skillful number 14 of the Cardinals. He's a captain for a reason, but still not exactly a lot of size on the kid. This is going to be offsides from the blue line of the Cardinals. Arth took a tumble as well. That didn't help their cause either on that rush, and he hops off. Who's out on offense? Well, they're going to get that first line back out, of course, and so that means Mayhew, Lenahan, Moore. On defense, they're back to Richard and Benincasa. Lenahan to take the face-off along the Menor blue line. Moore with good stick work, kicking it up to his stick from the skate. Here's Mayhew on the shot, just went wide left. A good shot, almost snuck its way through. Richard needs to get back on the back check, forcing the shot, and a good 5-hole save once more by Michael Better. After the whistle, he uses the stick, pokes it away from him. He's like, I don't want this anywhere near me. 13:35 to go in the third period. Shaker now down 3-2 after the early period goal. Here's the shot that goes wide to the right. Richard's going to be the first guy there, working with Lenahan to pick it up. Here's the shot. It's going to be tipped off the blocker of Michael Better. It goes up and into the netting, out of play. The whistle quickly blown. The game taking place after this one, set to be the JV championship of the Thornton Park tournament. Of course, yes, there is a JV section of the Thornton Park tournament as well. And actually the championship played between Shaker Heights, whose JV team apparently has been one of the best JV teams to watch for Shaker in a long time. Or at least that's what the fans are telling me. Getting the hints from the varsity players as well. Here's Mayhew scooping it up from the far side boards, moving it to Richard. Richard up, and they just rule it offsides. Oh my goodness. It was a good rush too, so that's going to hurt him. Now forward line 3 comes out, so Rich going to take the face-off. Kiltz to the right, Salmon to the left. On defense, White and Benincasa. White poking this one away in the neutral zone for Kiltz to try and fish away. But Braden White takes it back, uses the strength to just send this one up and into the Menor side of the ice. But it's going to be an icing as he was behind center ice. 12:40 left to go in the third. But yeah, a good old rivalry for the JV championship. Shaker Heights versus University. Coach, however, says stay out there. Here's a pass out to the blue line. Benincasa wraps it back around. Cole Richard there between the corner and the blue line. Here's Rich on a centering feed, tipped, and it'll go around the boards. Joey Moore to pick it up. We can assume that first line of offense will be back out momentarily. Here's Benincasa on the shot, and a glove save this time by Ryan Wilkinson. Would have gone wide more than likely, but still. $11 and a half left to go. Shaker down by a goal, yet to take a lead here in this third place game against the Menor Cardinals. A typical Greater Cleveland Conference rival in which all other sports will typically compete, except for sports like hockey and field hockey. Here Connor Mayhew holds on, banks it off the boards, was looking for Lenahan, but instead of Cardinal is there. Benincasa, the captain, off the boards, gets it to Mayhew. Mayhew off the backhand was looking up to his forwards, but instead it's a turnover to the Cardinals, but the shot will go wide. And there a good poke away by Joey Moore, just getting in the shooting lane. The big guys, Benincasa and Lenahan, working to get the puck back in those corner boards. And Lenahan banks it off the glass and away. He's looking to Mayhew. Joey Moore throws a man off the play. That first line of forwards remain out. Benincasa hopping off, and replacement is Braden White. They're sticking with size right now. Richard dumps this down. Icing is waved off. Not totally sure why. Must have hit off of the stick of a Cardinal. Here's Trem taking it up the near side boards, looking for a pass from the slot, but Braden White quickly closes that as he drops down to the ice. Here's a shot tipped off the blocker and wide. Good work right now from Michael Better. 10 minutes to go in the game. Here's a pass right to the stick of Sebi Juan, who skates it along the far side board, trying to gain the edge. Pass back to Axel Schneider. Schneider can't pick it up cleanly, and it's a rush the other way for the Cardinals. The team of gray and red. Bumped off the play by Arth for a moment. They get it back, but now Schneider holds it along the near side boards after the pass goes awry. 3-on-2 rushed if they hurry. Arth bumped off the play, so he just dumps it down. And good turnover here from Sebi Juan, who's tripped up, and we're going to get the call. And Shaker Heights will go on the power play. This is a power play that Shaker can really use to their advantage. Big time stuff here as the alternate captain, number 45, Matt Friel, heads to the box, and that's big. That's a defenseman heading to the box. And in them losing one of their best defensemen, Shaker needs this goal right here. We'll see what they can do. Lenahan to win this face-off over to Mayhew. Mayhew to Richard. Richard to the opposite point for Moore. Moore rips the shot. It was tipped, but it'll go wide. Mayhew gets it back to Lenahan along the corner boards. Wrapping it back, he's looking, or excuse me, that was Benincasa looking for Lenahan. Men are trying to clear it. They can't yet. Joey Moore on a one-time shot. Had a lot of strength on it, but it went wide. Mayhew leaves it to Richard at the point. Debating whether to take the shot. It won't open up, so Richard takes it back. He'll take the rip at it. Once again, it'll go wide, so Lenahan holds it. Up along the far side point. Back to the captain, Lenahan. Back Moore. Moore to Richard. Shooting lane. Is it open? No. He'll give it over to Mayhew. Set up behind the net to Richard. Richard rips the shot. Rebound was given up. And it finds its way in. Snuck in Connor Mayhew once again. Goal number 2 and point number 3 for Mayhew. And Shaker ties this one back up. It's 3-3. 8:42 to go in the third and final period. Big time power play goal. Good secondary chance created. And Connor Mayhew had the awareness to bury it through, and Ryan Wilkinson couldn't do anything about it. And now Shaker with a little bit of pep in their step. A minute away from the halfway mark of the third period. 8:30 to go. And this is shaping up to be a phenomenal finish. Kiltz works this one back to White. White, his shot tipped by Rich, barely redirected. Ryan Wilkinson was still able to track it down. It's a 2-on-2 rush to the advantage of the Cardinals. This shot goes right to the glove of Michael Better as he jumps up and snags it out of the air. 8:08 to go in the third period of regulation. My goodness, what a game between two competitive public schools. As I mentioned earlier, public schools really feel hard to come by in quality teams these days, as some of the best teams come from teams like University School and Gilmore Academy in St. Ignatius. Here's a pass up to Dominic Trem. Michael Better with a save. Now he'll wrap around and somehow flailing, he'll be able to make the save. But as I was saying, yeah, these private schools, typically the more quality teams. So when you get two public schools playing each other like these right here, two competitive public schools, those are teams you got to watch out for, because you know that these kinds of matchups are going to be some great, great games, no matter where they are in the rankings. Mayhew, Lenahan, Moore back out there. This has been one productive line today. 3 goals in total, 2 from Mayhew, 1 from Lenahan, though it was assisted by Mayhew, so number 6 having himself a day. Here it goes to the captain, Moore, over to Lenahan. Lenahan back to Moore behind the net. He's not able to get the possession back, but instead Richard's there to pick it up. Richard trying to pass it into the slot, but there's a Cardinal right in his way. Pass, between the legs. However, it also went between the legs of Joey Moore. So back to the Red Raiders zone we go. This first line having themselves a day, and head coach Matt Bartley knows it. There's a pass into the slot. No Cardinals there to receive it. So this goes down the ice, but icing is waved off. Lenahan's actually going to get there first. Good work. Pass into the slot for Moore. Moore rips the shot, and a good 5-hole save by the goaltender, Ryan Wilkinson. Some great saves on both ends today. Michael Better taking a skate around in his own zone, trying to keep loose. Third line back out there for the Red Raiders. We haven't seen the fourth line at all for Shaker Heights here today. More than likely because Shaker knows that they're not going to mess around today. They are throwing quality out there no matter what. They're also going to throw experience out there because that fourth line, a very new group of players. Typically you get 2 seniors, however, in Eamon Fury and Ian Schneiberg, though they have not had much ice time, and then 2 freshmen who, of course, have not had much ice time over the past years. 6:50 to go in the third. Ryan Kiltz hammered along the boards. It's sent up into the glass as Benincasa fishes out the loose puck. Ryan Wilkinson's side of the ice under pressure in these past couple of minutes. The third line of Salmon, Kiltz, and Rich currently trying to get the puck back in the Menor zone. This one flipped off the glass, but kept in by McGinnis. Good work. Almost flipped off of his stick, but he definitely did keep that on the blue line. Here, Rich losing his stick, but he's going to hop off anyway. And here, Menor going to try and set up an attack, but Benincasa with some good stick work and a big body able to take the puck back by force. Looking for the shot from the point was Menor. Now looking to go up to the net, and it looks like they're going to call a tripping on Shaker. Tough call, but it made sense. Who do they rule this time? A good defenseman to lose. Teddy McGinnis, or not a good defenseman to lose. What I mean is a good player that is tough to lose in this kind of situation. Teddy McGinnis to the box. Number 12 on the back of his jersey as he sits down in the sin bin. He's got 2 minutes to think about what he's done, and right now this is a tough spot to lose a man for the next two. 3-3 the current score. This would be a big 2 minutes to kill off the clock. And here's Sebi Juan trying to send it down, and eventually he's going to send it up off the backhand, but it'll go right to a stick of the Cardinal in front of him. That's going to be offsides, and eventually we're going to get a late whistle from the referee. Only 12 seconds off the penalty that time around. .5:41 left to go in the third period. Dominic Trem pickpocketed by Richard. Richard sends it down over to A.J. Trobenner. And in the Menor zone, they're going to slow things down and set up. Trobenner splits a couple of defensemen. And now he works this one back, but Richard pressuring to try and clear the zone, but eventually he'll just get it himself as Arth flips it over. It's right now Arth and Mayhew. This one passed right into the referee. Referee right where he shouldn't be, twice over. And it looks like this one's sort of out of play. The referee took a long time to blow it dead, helping out Shaker a little bit as more time did expire. 5:04 to go in the third period. Again, overtime very well could be the case here, and if so, it's going to be the first overtime game Shaker will have played in the season. And here's Menor back with it. They've still got a minute on the power play. This pass intercepted by Richard, trying to dump it further into the Shaker zone. Instead, it's picked up by Joey Moore, and Moore dumps it down from his side of the ice. Joey Moore has really done well on the penalty kill. Though the penalty kill as a team has not looked too good, he has really been having a day. Here's A.J. Trobenner on the shot, and a good save by Michael Better. Tough look as he was able to rob number 26 of the hat trick. .44 seconds to go on Teddy McGinnis's tripping minor. Lowell Rich right now with Ryan Kiltz as forwards on defense. Here's the shot using the stick. Oh my goodness, it almost hit off the skate of White and in. Trobenner back with it on the near side corner. Pass over to the opposite point. Maybe a pass. It was whiffed upon regardless. Michael Better dives in front of him, covers up for the whistle. And the home crowd going to give him some applause for that one. Everyone take a breather. Shaker Heights trying to kill off another penalty, this being their fourth given up to the Cardinals. Mayhew taking the face off and somehow fishing it out on the tie-up and sending it all the way on net down the ice. Arth is going to be the first guy there. And in doing so, Wilkinson is going to have to cover it up for the whistle. Good hustle by Arth to get there and force the face-off in the opposite zone. On defense right now, it's Richard and it's Benincasa, the forwards. Arth and Mayhew. 15 seconds left to go on McGinnis's penalty time. So now here come the Cardinals looking for one final chance. Pass into the slot, intercepted by Arth. Will he dump it down off the backhand? Indeed. 3, 2, 1, release McGinnis. 4 minutes left to go in the third period. Big penalty kill by Shaker Heights. And here's a good interception by Richard in the Red Raider zone. Here's Moore on the shot. Rebound given up on the backhand. He can't take the shot off. So he's going to work it back to the point for White. White wraps it back where it came from for Arth. Arth working with Mayhew and Moore. Lenahan awaiting his turn to come back out onto the ice. Here's a pass off the boards, intercepted by Richard once more. He's creating a lot of neutral zone turnovers. Good work by the sophomore defenseman. Moore works this back to Mayhew. Mayhew was looking for the hat trick himself. Braden White under pressure. Here's a one-on-one rush. Dominic Trem the forward, trying to move around Cam Mayhew, but Mayhew shuts it down. Cam Mayhew with good stick work as well, moving it to Arth. Arth trying for more along the red line of center ice. Here's a shot blocked by Cam Mayhew. Dominic Trem pass up. The shot, and it's still loose out in the blue paint, and eventually covering it up. And a couple of shoves after the whistle. 2:47 to go in the third period. And indeed, we get the stadium announcements. We will have overtime. So if it remains tied at the end of the third period, 5 minutes of, I believe, 4-on-4 hockey. Keeping this one, puck on his stick, looking to shut this down immediately and try to send Shaker home with their first upset win. But right there, he was pickpocketed. Kilt looking up to the point for Lenahan, but there was a man in the slot. And it looks like there's a penalty for interference on the Menor Cardinals. Huge penalty. And it's on that one defenseman once again, number 45, Matt Friel, his second penalty of the game. Last time he took a penalty, Shaker went on and scored it on the power play. 2:26 to go in the third, 2 minutes on the power play for Shaker Heights, and they send out their top guys. They're actually going to stick with the 3 forward, 2 defenseman look, though Benincasa really acting as a forward, set up in front of the net during these kinds of power plays. Richard up at the blue line, sends it over to Lenahan. Lenahan back to Moore. Moore takes the rip at it, and it'll go wide. Good setup that time by Shaker. Connor Mayhew wraps it around the boards for Lenahan. Or excuse me, the captain Benincasa set up behind the net. Mayhew trying to pass it across the slot. It's poked away from Moore. But Richard going to get it back in the Red Raiders zone. Richard keeping it with him in the Red Raiders side of the ice, just electing not to take it away from his side of the ice. Instead, he's going to send it down. The sophomore struggling to maintain possession as Menor takes it out. Sending it to Joey Moore in the neutral zone. This dump down, a shot actually from between the red line of center ice and the Menor blue line. And once again in the neutral zone, it's held by Cole Richard. Richard goes cross ice, finds Mayhew. Mayhew back to that side, near side of the ice for Benincasa. Benincasa to Lenahan. Lenahan back to the point. Now Shaker's setting up once more. Here it is to Rich. Rich takes the shot and a glove save by Ryan Wilkinson. 71 seconds left to go in the third and final period of regulation. Timeout taken by the Red Raiders. Well, there's a lot going on here in this third period of play. Right now, in the shots on goal for the period, they're evened up at 8-8. It has been a very even third period. Menor won that first period 2-0, but Shaker came back out of the locker room of the first intermission, came in, tied this one up at 2-2 to leave the middle frame, and then in this third period, a goal per side. Shaker with 46 seconds left on the power play, looking to take their first lead of the game very late in the game, and it would be prime position if they can. In the next 71 seconds, that's right, 1 minute and 11 seconds left to go in the third period, then they will move to overtime period number 1, which is 5 minutes of 4-on-4. There's going to be a 3-minute break between periods, so both squads can talk things over and we'll step aside. Keep in mind, that's if that's the case. Still a lot of time. Not actually, that's not true. Still some time for each team to get a goal into the back of the net and take home the victory before overtime is needed. A little sudden death never hurt anybody, but we'll see if Shaker's going to need it or Menor if they can capitalize one on either a shorthanded chance or in the final seconds of regulation. Here's Richard passing it back to Lenahan. The captain can't handle it, so he gives it back to Moore up near the blue line. Back to Richard. Richard decides not to shoot it yet. Back to Richard. Blocked. Tipped in! It just snuck through! And Shaker Heights doesn't need no overtime. As with 49 seconds to go, it's Benincasa on the tip in front. And they pop in goal number 4. They lead it 4-3. Their first lead of the game comes with less than a minute remaining. Huge goal for the Red Raiders. And now timeout taken by Menor. We're going to step aside as we're going to catch our breath as well. I'm sure you need to, but don't you move a muscle as 49 seconds are left to go. The Red Raiders lead this one 4-3. Connor Mayhew getting his 4th point of the game on his 2nd assist. He's got 2 goals, 2 assists. And now Connor Mayhew takes it off the faceoff. He's looking to take the lead even further, and he hits the post. And now here's Menor looking for the tying goal number 4. Mayhew wraps it around the glass. Can it clear? Yes, it can to the neutral zone. My goodness. A lot to talk about in these final seconds. Mayhew hangs back on, gets it up to Joey Moore. This third period, especially the final minutes of the third period, have been all Shaker Heights. And here's Connor Mayhew trying to rip a shot from out wide. Here's Menor on their final rush. The goaltender going off, trying to get the extra attacker on in the dying seconds. Benincasa just going to hold it up against the boards. Pass to the slot is blocked. That will expire the third period. Huge win for the Red Raiders. Biggest win of the season. As Michael Better with a good showing in his crease. He hugs his fellow big man, Marios Kalergis, the 2 goaltenders celebrating this one, and they're first in line for the handshakes. Holy cow. Big W for the Red Raiders, their very first upset victory. And they're going to remember this victory moving on. Last year, they went 3-0 against the Cardinals. This year, they say, let's keep the streak going. So as Glory Days plays here at the J.M. Bartley Arena, Shaker will win the third place game of their host tournament, the Thornton Park tournament, 4-3, with a big goal that just nearly avoided overtime. It was with 49 seconds left to go. Shaker with a lot of shots attempted, 46 in total, with Menor not falling far behind at 41 in shots on goal. However, Shaker beat them by 8, 34-26. Now in face-offs, Menor did win that third period by a decent amount, and they won the face-off total 37-30. In power play, perfectly even. 2 for 4 went both squads. And so whenever you had a penalty, it seemed in this game there was a 50% chance that the opposite squad was going to pop one into the back of the net. That was the case, of course, here at the Bart in Thornton Park. Now Shaker Heights has finished up their little streak, I believe, here at the J.M. Bartley Arena. They will move on to the Padua Holiday Tournament. On the 20th, they will have a game. On the 21st, they will have 2. And then on the 22nd, they will have their 4th and final game of the tournament before that will begin the Shaker Heights winter break of their academic year. And so then we're going to see you right after Christmas Day on the 26th. So that's going to be all tournaments held at the Brunswick Automart Arena. Really, Shaker Heights is second home. You know it. You love it. The Brunswick Automart Arena is where we're going to be for the next couple of weekends. But Shaker today beating the 19th, apparently, per the My Hockey rankings for the state. Shaker beat the number 19 team 4-3 in the Menor Cardinals. Shaker back at number 31. Hopefully this win can boost up their ranking a little bit higher, but we'll see what they decide. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum on the call. Thanks for tuning in throughout our entire Thornton Park tournament broadcasting. We're glad to have you along for the ride. Thanks for joining.